Alright guys, it is almost first light. I can't sleep. I've been on this island for an entire day, just waiting for the winds to shift, and I cannot sit here anymore. It's driving me crazy. I really hope my patience was worth it, because yesterday I just kept looking out there and feeling like the winds weren't that bad. I am in a bit of a more protected area, so it could have been deceiving. I feel like I just could have made it yesterday, but I opted to wait for the winds to shift around from the north today, Thursday. Plus my hotel reservation wasn't till today anyway. So what was I gonna do? Just get there and check into the hotel a day early? It was fine just to sit here. I kept telling myself that, but I really just wanted to be done with this. Even though it's fun. But yeah, there's enough light for me to take the tent down now and hit the road, man. I just want off this freaking island. Getting off this island. Oh my god, it feels so good to be back on the water. The day off was hell. Like waiting. It wasn't fun. But you know what? It is a tailwind right now, so I can't really complain. Looks like I could have stayed in that old abandoned house. This is up there on one of my least favorite days ever. Like, no, you haven't been paddling for 7 days and you're exhausted, averaging 50 miles a day. And that's nothing. Like, don't get me wrong. Red Bull Heavy Water for its intensity in that short period of time was definitely worse. And then, God, I mean, I know the MR340 is going to be worse because it's non-stop. This wasn't supposed to be like that. And the Alabama 650 also being non-stop, I just think is, oh, why am I signed up for that? I like sleeping a lot. Like, I don't want to ever understate how much I love to sleep. I value my 9 to 10 hours a night as an athlete. This trip was fun until I got to the sound. Note to self, download the marine charts. Yes, they're extra. Freaking buy them. I do not want to flip it, but it's fun because the downwind is really good. I'm logging excellent times. So even though this morning was off to a really bad start, I'm thinking in the long run, everything works out as it should, because I can't even see where the hell I'm going. It's still... I think I just killed that fish! I hope he's okay! He smells like fish! Oh, he hit my yakko so hard! God, I hope the little guy's alright! Holy shit! That had to hurt. I'm being pretty cautious on the bumps. Like, I'm trying to line them up and get good rides. Trying to do less paddling and more surfing, but I'm being very ginger with some of my choices because, like I said, the last thing I want to do is freaking like yard sale all of my camping equipment. And it is really rough out here. I would move the camera for a different view, but that. I ain't trying to move around any more than I have to out here. I would love for you to look at the bumps that I'm catching, but God knows it's so turbulent out here. So much crap in my boat. Alright. I've got 10 miles left. I just have to hike across another shoal because I'm trying to stay in line with the wind. I can't go out into the middle of the sound and then fight the wind back in. But it keeps running me into these shallows, and with 10 miles left, I would think that I'd start seeing some navigational, like channel markers, but right now there's no such luck. I am so scared that I might have to get out and hike again. I can't, I just do not want to do that anymore. It's not fun. Because remember, hey, day 1 and day 2, I guess that's the theme of this trip. Hike my boat everywhere. Inland hike. Coast hike. Jesus Christ. So I really, really want to see some navigational channel markers really soon. enter because there's a canal back there. I wish I could turn the camera around and show you the beautiful lighthouse. There's a giant cell phone tower in front of it. Come on, man. There's gotta be a freaking red and green thing here somewhere. This is the longest 2 miles of my life, and I'm against the tide. Like, it couldn't have just been like, I'm at the finish, yay! No, here's 4 inches of water. No channel buoy. Yep, those aren't channel markers. This is the phone number for Ryan Belter. Done. It wasn't hard. I mean, if you do it aerobically, it's not, I mean, goodness, I've been building up my maximum strength capabilities for years, so muscular fatigue was never an issue. Even on a 67-mile day, which was the peak of my days, it wasn't, my body never wanted to give out. It was always mind. The mind always was the thing. It was, where am I camping? Where am I, like, what are the winds gonna do? It was never anything involving paddling that made me wanna dial things back or call it an early day. And that, I mean, I've said this multiple times throughout the footage, my theme was, by the end, paddling is awesome, everything else sucks. And that's life. It all ended right here. You didn't get to see the end because the camera battery died, which after camping on an island an entire day, all of my devices were dying. Everything was done. I had a solar charging pack. Not so sure that it was charging ever in the sun, even though I left it in the sun maybe it didn't like water. But everything died. But I made it, and literally the moment I was pulling up, the owner of the hotel was out here about to snap some photos of what it looks like from the water because she thought I would never figure out that this was the hotel. Luckily, I had the exact latitude and longitude in my GPS, and my Garmin was not dead. I had multiple batteries for that because that was my lifeline in this entire trip, this entire adventure. When you're out there in the middle of the Sound, every little nubbin on that hazy, distant horizon, you think it might be the lighthouse, and you're like, is that what I'm aiming to? And you look at your little purple eye and you're like, no. And you get closer and you realize you're nowhere even near where you're going. If it wasn't for that Garmin, I couldn't have made it. She was out here snapping some pics. I paddled up and I said, excuse me, is this the Swell Motel? And she said, why, yes it is. Are you April? And I said, why, yes I am. So I was very stoked to see her, and the timing was uncanny. She was down here at the exact moment I was pulling up. Kismet. So I pulled the boat out of the water, stashed it here over in the grass, checked into the hotel, and chilled for the remainder of Thursday. Enjoyed a nice relaxing walk to the lighthouse to finish up my adventure on Friday. And then husband arrived on Saturday.
Good morning.
Or no, Friday night. But we spent the day together just chilling on the beach with this wiggly thing. So the family's here to enjoy a day off from paddling.
I worked so hard.
Yeah, it was quite the adventure. I kept pretty true to my mission, which was to enjoy every stroke. I used the word love on my vision board here, but Love and joy, especially like in the Buddhist sense, those can be interchangeable. So every stroke needed to be joyful for this to be considered fun, for this to be considered play. This isn't work, this isn't training, this isn't something hard, this isn't some punishment, like go out and paddle 333 miles as fast as you know. You know, when the storms came, I took the afternoon off. When the winds weren't good, I chilled on an island. I had the time built in to the overall expedition, the adventure, that I didn't have to rush. This wasn't a race, it wasn't supposed to be, and I just found joy in paddling. Who doesn't want to find the joy of paddling? And every stroke was just as important as the last and the next, because without every single stroke, I wouldn't have made it here. Some strokes were in a crosswind, some strokes were in a headwind, some strokes were in a downwind, some strokes were against the tide, some strokes were with the tide. Every stroke mattered, and every stroke made me a better paddler. And as long as I stayed focused and had good body position and good catch and good follow through, good release, quick back up to the front, every single one of my millions of strokes, I'm gonna calculate how many strokes I took, made me a better paddler. And that's something I aspire to be. I like being a paddler.